the people of Ukraine to the international community. Please act now. This is our last plea for help. Tomorrow, they might disconnect our phones and internet, announce a state of emergency and kill us, while the international community remains silent, upholding European values on paper only. People are dying for them in Ukraine and will continue to die. Citizens of Ukraine, representatives of civil organizations, active participants in the peaceful protests on the Maidan Independence Square in Kyiv and across the whole country, appeal to the international community, national governments and international organizations to decisively intervene in the current situation in Ukraine, secure peace and civil rights in this part of Europe. We need your help to stop this bloody, brutal and evil war which criminal government authorities wage against their own people. The response to the protesters' actions by the Ministry of Internal Affairs security forces is outrageous. People strongly violate human rights, secured by international conventions and Ukrainian legislation, particularly by using live ammunition and water cannons. At least 5 people have already been killed by snipers' bullets and tortured by criminal thugs hired by the authorities to fight activists, and the fate of many others has not been determined. Hundreds of protesters were severely injured, among them dozens of medical workers and journalists who have been intentionally shot by snipers from Berkut riot police, mainly targeting their eyes. Ministry of Internal Affairs security forces have kidnapped the severely wounded right from hospitals, handcuffed, tortured and humiliated them. We ask you to note that despite the terror against protesters arranged by the authorities all over the country, and specifically in Kyiv, people's resistance, with only one exception, remains peaceful. It has been 2 long months during which the Ukrainian authorities of Ukraine have violently reacted to the peaceful protests of millions of Ukrainians. Partial radicalization of public attitudes in Kyiv is the outcome of brutal actions by police during crackdowns on the peaceful demonstrations on the 30th of November and 1st of December, absence of a response by the authorities to the Euromaidan's demands, systematic repressions towards participants of the protests across the country, and adoption of illegitimate laws that literally allow dictatorship in Ukraine. Violent resistance started when police blocked a peaceful protest against the abolishment of the rights of Ukrainians for non-violent protest, freedom of the press, freedom of expression and fair trial. Chaos that has been illegally shaped into new laws formally enables the regime to use violence to quash the peaceful protests on Maidan. This will likely cause massive bloodshed and a declaration of a state of emergency. This scenario benefits Russia in its aim to spread violence to other regions of Ukraine. The continuation of this will lead to a new Belarus and Pridnestrovia on the border of the European Union. We ask you to switch from declarations to urgent actions. Demand from the President and Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine to immediately stop the violence that has been carried out by the Ministry of Internal Affairs security forces and hired criminal thugs. Come to Ukraine, assess the situation from the inside, and mediate negotiations between government authorities and citizens of Ukraine in order to resolve the crisis. Send missions with observers to prevent the reification of the dictatorship, to protect fundamental human rights, and to safeguard European democratic values in Ukraine. Impose personal sanctions on anyone who has been involved in violations of human rights in Ukraine. Ban their entrance into democratic countries and freeze their financial accounts. Start investigations on money laundering. Ukrainians are united in their vision of the future for the country, where everyone enjoys the safety of life, liberty and freedom from violence. We are a civilized European nation that has been imprisoned by the gangsters in power. Yanukovych was elected as a president with limited authorities. Shortly thereafter, he modified the constitution of Ukraine using legally dubious means and usurped power. We didn't vote for him under these conditions. Please help us stand with Ukraine.